What is going on, guys? We are back with Brad's Boss 302 swap that we're doing on his 2004 Mustang GT. Got the short block in here. Got a funny story on this one. This short block was picked up for a very cheap price from a friend, and we're going to be rebuilding that on the channel. Today we're going to get it torn down and try to figure out what we're going to be needing for machine work, crank polishing, bearings, etc. This engine only has how many miles?
I think the Carfax on it is like 26.
Yeah, it's like 20,000. I'll show you the condition of it. We have knocked out one piston and rod. That's about it. There we go. So overall, the rings don't look too terrible. We are going to be doing some new rings, some new bearings. So essentially,
for anyone who's asking,
what are we asking about?
Actual forged pistons.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so this is a 2013 Boss 302 engine. This engine right here should support up to 900 to 1,000 wheel horsepower, even though it's technically a Gen 1. The Boss 302 was very similar to the Gen 2 engine that ended up coming out. Brad paid $100 for the short block. Killer deal. So that is why we are going to be using this as a base, and we should be able to get this cleaned up. You can see that the cylinder walls do have some surface rust, but we're going to be trying to get those cleaned up, and we shouldn't have a problem there. And then we're going to be reusing the pistons, rods, and crank. So let's start tearing it down. And the oil pump.
A little bit of rust, nothing bad. I mean, it still moves really free, so.
Yeah, we can always pick up a new pump too. They're only like $100. They're super cheap.
I mean, once we get it open, that'll tell us what it is. We're changing out the pump gears anyway.
Yep. So we got the engine turned over on the stand, not turned over.
It does turn over though.
But you can see the crank journal looks pretty good. We're hoping to see that across the board here. And this engine's not locked up. It's just got some surface rust all over the place, but that's why we're going to be doing some machining and getting this looking right.
It does move free.
Yep.
We got it cleaned up. Just gotta clean it up some more.
Yeah, so we can go ahead and pop out this rod and piston. How's the bearing look?
Still pretty fresh. And it's still got the top coating. I believe these are tri-coat from the factory. Or tri-metal.
How's she look?
Yeah. About what the other one looked like before we cleaned it up a little bit. This one, I think, is actually a little bit better. The rings are moving. The rings in the other one, they were seized. So this one should be a lot easier to take apart. Just a little cleaning. Got a little. I think most of that is from me spraying WD-40 and PB Blaster in there just to get everything moving again.
Yep.
But bearing looks good.
Crank looks good.
Crank looks good.
Yeah, we're gonna do a polish on the crank too anyways, just for good effect. Not a turn, a polish. All right, next two.
I do like how pretty the Boss crank is. It's just a shame it's got so much crap on it right now.
Yeah, we'll get her cleaned up. We're gonna be using obviously new rod bolts. Those are one-time use.
Yeah. Torque to yields.
Yep, crank looks solid there too. It's a very low mileage engine with no issues. I believe this was pulled for a built motor.
Take care to not hit the cylinder walls.
Yep.
Yeah, this one's got a little gooey.
Well, that looks like the drip down from us spraying it. Wow. to the side. Yeah, we can clean these things up like very easily. Yeah, it's basically it really is. When I say surface rust, it's very minor.
Yeah. I mean, you can even
that was
see
one spray of brake cleaner. Now your gloves are totaled. I think we're running low, mate. Yeah, so if we clean these things up, they're gonna look pretty much brand new.
Yeah.
You know, on top of that, we're obviously doing new rings.
New rings, throw everything back in, new bearings. It'll be a sweet little unit.
Yep. Yeah, see what we can do naturally aspirated.
I think, depending on if we can actually find the ported boss heads or not, I think in my car we should be easily the 450 to 470 range. I'm thinking.
Yeah, that'd be badass. We do also have a 1320 Junkie, ported Boss manifold, the 2020 500 covers, the BBK long tubes we showed in the last video.
Brand new Boss cams.
Yep, brand new Boss cams, brand new timing cover. That looks really good there too. So the parts pile, we have a bunch of goodies coming from Power by the Hour. Thanks to Travis, our boy over there.
Thank you, Travis. You have helped out immensely.
And I think you have another stash of parts somewhere else.
I do. It's
over there.
It's kind of a hodgepodge. It's everything that we've taken off cars that we're like, yeah, we got enough of this. We can spare one.
Yeah, the crank looks solid. Like a baby.
Congratulations, the world's ugliest baby.
Yeah. Pretty much same thing.
Yeah, this one wasn't nearly as bad. A lot of the ones that were closer to the top didn't have as much rust buildup from water being in there, so.
Yeah, you want to talk about budget build. This is the budget build right here.
That was a steal on the short block, I'm not gonna lie.
But it requires work. Usually you get some sort of deal and it requires putting some money and some time into it.
Which we're not afraid to do. We have the capabilities to take care of just about everything in-house, at least to put it together. I mean, obviously we're gonna send it out, polish the crank, get that cleaned up, send the block out, get that cleaned up. But everything else here is just us putting in the time, just taking it apart, stripping it down, I mean, putting it together. I'm excited to see how it goes. Very excited to put the car together. This is a car that I've owned since '08, and I put a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of blood into that car.
Same thing.
I mean, look at that.
Yeah, it's that is literally brand new.
Intake.
And liftoff.
Look at that crank.
FYI, we already pulled the thrust washer out there, if anyone was wondering. There we go. Crank will polish to just pretty much perfect. And we are left with this.
Oh yeah.
Just gotta clean up those cylinder walls, and
it's a shame that they had the water that they did, but everything that didn't have water in it still has cross hatching in it, which is really nice.
yeah. Well, guess we gotta get the stuff over to the machine shop and see what they say.
Hopefully they'll clean it up and it won't cost too much, because we're trying to stay within the budget.
Yep. All right, so we're gonna bring the crank and the block off to the machine shop. See what they say. See how much it's gonna cost. Put the block back here. So, let's see what happens. Well, thanks to Terry. Come back and get a nice cleaned up block Monday.
Yeah, should be good.
So we'll have to update. I think might be talking to Terry some more, trying to figure out the heads, and yeah, just a nice to find someone old school. He's got some nice machines in there, the old school stuff. He's gonna clean up the block, clean up the crank, and probably end up going through a set of heads for us.
Yeah, his prices aren't bad either.
Yeah, right here in Bunnell. All right, so we made it back from the machine shop. Terry over there is gonna take good care of the block and crank. I think we're also gonna drop the rods over there Monday. He's gonna get those cleaned up, and we should be rolling on our way. Now we gotta make the decision what we're gonna do for heads. I don't know if we'll have a decision this video, but hopefully by next video we have a decision on heads. There is one option. I picked up a truck core engine. We have it on the stand. We haven't had time to get through with it. We can sell head cores for a good amount of money, but we have this here. Was told that this was running and driving when it was pulled, but it was down a hole. So we don't know if that means there was a ring issue or something as simple as spark plug injector. They swapped the whole engine, and we ended up with the whole engine. We have popped off the valve covers, and the heads, internals, cams, cam journals, everything looks super mint. So there could be a valve issue. It's very common on a truck engine where a valve will basically get sucked in, or there'll be a serious amount of carbon buildup. Not a problem if we have a shop go through and rebuild the heads. That is one option that we do have on the table. We really want to get a set of Boss heads, but they're just really, really expensive. Another option would be to use a set of Coyote heads as core and go pick up like some Gen 2s. Those cost about $1,000 or so, maybe a little bit more, but really just got to figure out the best plan for getting some heads for Brad's engine. If you guys like the video series so far, make sure you hit the like button down below. If you out there have a set of Boss heads laying around, you want to sell them to us, let me know. Hopefully there's someone out there. That would be awesome. I would really love to put this together as a Boss engine. Brand new from Ford. These heads, if they're even in stock, are $2 grand a piece. So it's not really very reasonable at the moment. But hopefully we can figure it out and get Brad's car back on the road. Hopefully. Yep. We'll see you guys in the next one. If you guys are interested in the Typhoon intake, we have that still. And what else do we have? Cold air intake.
Yep, cold air.
Throttle body.
Trick flip plenum, spacers. So there's more.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll put it down in the description. You guys let me know, and we'll see you in the next one.